My name is Timo, and I'm a voiceover artist.
When was the first time you said, okay, this is when I'm deciding to become a voiceover artist?
It was I had no option really.
Oh.
It was the only way that I could survive by then because I just had given up on being a music producer. So when I switched to a radio producer, I saw my survival would be successful if I became a voiceover artist alongside being a producer.
So when did you discover that you have a voice that can be able to voice? How did you know that you had the voice?
I didn't know. I'm one person who has learned to be a voiceover. I am not a natural voiceover talent. Like those people that speak well and then you feel like, wow, I'm not that kind. I have learned the art of sounding in character, being a voiceover artist. So my very first shot of being a voiceover artist professionally, someone said, you sound like someone has stepped on your stomach. I was like, wow. Probably I sounded forced. But there was this guy who said, you can be a good voiceover artist. So he said, let me try and do something with your voice. So he told me, you voice something, Chenda Musatu, Kingdom FM. And he mixed and mastered my voice, and it sounded nice. From that point on, I believed that I would be a very good voiceover artist.
What are the key things you're doing to make sure you stay good in your game? What are some of those things you're doing to make sure you're the best in the game? And what are some of those practices?
I recognize competition, growth, and I care so much about the art I have to produce every day. It's not about just doing coming and voicing, but because I'm a creator, it helps me a lot, revamp my voiceovers. So people don't only listen to my voiceovers, but they also listen to the art that I create within my voiceover art. So it's two-way. I am an artist as also a voiceover. I don't just voice over, but I create the art that I voice. Like 90% of the things I do, I create the art.
Create the art.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself if you met your young self 10 years ago?
I would ask, what was I doing being a music producer? I would be like, why didn't you just switch? Why didn't you just start? Because even when I was young, there used to be a big tire for lorries, the big ones. So I'd read it every day. Every day I would come to that tire and I read it and I read it and I read it over and over again. So sometimes you see them, but again you choose to go somewhere else. So if I met myself 10 years ago, but because 10 years is my experience of being a voiceover, but beyond the 10 years, I would be like, why didn't I have now the experience of like 20 years in the voiceover industry?
You feel like you should have started earlier?
Yeah. I feel like I wasted all my life trying to be a musician, Yeah. So I would have just switched to just a voiceover artist. Yeah, probably, and a producer.
Your top tips for anybody who wants to become a voiceover artist, anybody who wants to start a career in being a voiceover artist, what would be your tips?
If you're a talented, natural voiceover artist, the only thing you have to do, first of all, is to be obedient. Listen, learn, and unlearn every day. If you're not a natural voiceover talent, that you don't have that perfect voice, you need to listen a lot to those voiceover artists, what they do, because these are characters. They are people that sound like every other person. They are characters that can be refurbished into another person. So listen, learn the technique, and don't stop. Because when you wake up as a voiceover artist, one thing you should know is to really make sure that your voice is sounding. So take care of your voice, first of all. Eat things that will, probably make your voice better. Honey, warm water. Make sure you don't strain your voice, because how we learned, because now it's hard to find a person who is like me, who will do hardcore ads with with intensity in the voice, then do corporate ads, then do, characters of, an old person, youthful person, So take care of your voice. It is so important. You don't want to lose your voice when you're straining it. You don't want to lose your voice and you can't speak the next day.
Okay. So, some other last question. If you're to choose a different career, let's say if you're not to do voiceovers, what would you do that is not this?
I would be a farmer.
You'd be a farmer. Why?
It's the farmer of, say, like rabbits. There is creativity in how they move, how they jump. They're clean. They're money making. They wouldn't bore me. I don't need boring things. I can't, be a farmer. I can't rear cows.
Oh.
I can't wait for 1 year for something to come out. So rabbits, rats,
those things,
snakes, such.
So what is the big dream? What do you see yourself? What is the dream? What is the big dream?
We're dreaming of being a one-stop shop for voiceover artists and clients. To have at least as many voiceover artists come onto our channel to really get gigs, to inspire others, and also to get some money, because we are a youthful world and jobs are scarce. So if I create a platform where these guys can put their demos for, a client, one client to come and, like your demo, then, there's business, and that's the dream. Be one of the biggest voiceover channels for artists all over Africa, not only in Uganda.
And then what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced as a creative and a person trying to run a business in Uganda, in Africa, in general? What are some of those challenges you feel like you're facing and other entrepreneurs are facing?
Burnout. As a creative, I burn out. People don't understand that I need my time to just be there, and I don't think. I get a lot of burnouts. I can be there and I don't want to think. I don't want to see the computer. I don't want to see any script. And maybe some other thing is undervaluing the art of being a voiceover artist. People think you just come and speak. People think you just create a script but we are not everywhere. We just create because that's the art that we've mastered over time. So people think it's not worth investing in. It's a big challenge that an ad company can have a budget of a videographer being nice, a cinematographer being nice, and then when it comes to voiceover, they'll say, "Oh no, you just give him like 250,000." But remember, if the voice over is not on that, everything you've done, you don't have the project. Probably if you're too artistic, people will understand the art, but you only have one touch of being a visual, not an audio visual, ad. So the undervaluing of the people that put that voice that makes the client, make the people buy your product is too much in this industry. But I'm hoping it will definitely change as we become more scarce, as we become more prominent with, teaching people how this business works, as we create avenues to show that this is what people should invest in. Probably it will change, and we'll be like other countries.
So where do we find you? Social media platforms, social handles, and Instagram website?
Website is www.recappbrands.com. Then on social media, of course, Recap Brand House everywhere. Personal, it's Timo Pandichat, TikTok, Insta, Twitter, LinkedIn is Jumba Omar. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.